It's late 2022. You've just emerged from the toilet after having a good vom, only to find that the Tom Holland homunculus in Spider-Man Remastered is still on your screen. So you go for round 2. Eventually, you find the strength to close the game, boot up Elden Ring instead, and fail to defeat Radahn 47 times without even making it up the hill. But your spirits are not dampened. Not tonight. There is another hill you're all too excited to explore. This evening, Konami streams a Silent Hill transmission that would change the trajectory of your life. It has been an hour of you staring at this screen, and for barely 30 minutes of actual content, the showcase finally begins. Silent Hill 2 Remake guy looks like the blonde version of X-Files guy. Silent Hill Townfall guy looks like Ice Cube. They announce a movie, which would be fine, but the director isn't a real human. Konami proudly unveils toys, which I'm devastated to report are very difficult to play with. Then an interactive TV show is brought to light. Everyone loved it. And finally, it happens. Silent Hill. From the very start of the game, we immediately get a taste for its themes. Like any good video game intro, F opens on a close-up of a story-relevant object and a mirror that doesn't reflect anything. Because the visuals are so mind-boggling, the player needed to be shown that this isn't real life. We then see our main character, and immediately the central conflict is made apparent to us. One of the game's many themes is the fear of entering the adult world. Silent Hill F explores the horrors of being slightly taller, the unnerving reality that you might get acne, and the compulsion to cling to your beloved Xbox 360. Silent Hill is very subtle. Key details are left vague and go unsaid to enhance the horror. But don't worry, we're here to fill in the blanks. Hinako has clearly been to Comic-Con. She's 16, and it's getting a bit embarrassing. She needs to take off the rabbit ears, stop playing Fall Guys, and think about that pension. But Hinako is stronger than that. No matter what insane feats of gymnastics, pipe swings, and interdimensional travel, those ears do not budge. Except that one time, but then the ears jump back on her head without anyone touching it. She is bonded to her youth on a supernatural level. In this intro, Hinako and her sister have a very Silent Hill-esque stilted heart-to-heart. We pan out to showcase the village and a sneak peek at the abusive dynamics going on behind closed doors. It's here where we notice another significant theme in this game is the Japanese philosophy regarding three faces. This is a philosophy that philosophizes that we all have three faces. Your first face is the one you're only willing to show to Instagram followers. Your second face you'd only dare show to your Silent Hill toys. And the third face is the one you show when you're able to be your true self. At Comic-Con, Hinako's family in the introduction have their faces consistently obscured. This happens many times throughout the game, particularly when people are being selfish, inconsiderate, or vulnerable. Also, enemies and this fucking guy have masks on. The developers were clearly too lazy to do the facial animations. This happens so frequently, in fact, that in the sections where there is facial animation, it's absolutely bloody perfect. Every missing face is emblematic of complete incompetence. After that very economic introduction, we're unleashed into the game world where we learn to walk, steal people's mail, and worship the gods. I take the time to admire just how uncomfortable this tree looks and ruminate in my alcoholism. Speaking of failure, when Hinako approaches this truck, she discovers the bloody remains of a small bird. The only thing chilling about this is how unscary the concept truly is. I see this every day. There are more flat pigeons on the road on a Thursday evening in Romford than there are drivers. The sheer amount of blood also takes me out of the experience. When was the last time you went to Tesco? Have you seen how much blood is in a chicken? A much larger bird, might I add. That's right. None. Birds don't have blood inside them. Silent Hill F fails at realism, the most important thing in video game development. We meet the first character that the cinematography doesn't obscure the face of. and they're an ominous little bitch, opening the conversation by calling you a traitor, and closing the conversation by calling you a traitor again. This must be a reference to the fact that Hinako promised to take off her cosplay for Comic-Con last week, but she has yet to bathe, and Sakuko now hates you for being an attention seeker at school. If only the boys were brave enough to approach, Sakuko wouldn't have anything to worry about. Before I go any further, consider doing the algorithm things. We put absolutely no effort into this content, but when we think about getting cybersecurity jobs for a high salary, but adjusting for inflation, still not be able to afford a shitty one-bedroom apartment in Enfield, it makes us physically ill. Please, if you're entertained, save us from this fate by clicking the Save Us buttons. So far, this is my favorite subscriber. Thank you for everything you've done. We move on to yet another cutscene as the rest of the cast is introduced, making awkward small talk. I'm sure they're all great friends and would never hurt each other. Suddenly, an ocean of red flowers murders Sakuko, then gives chase. Now, a good Silent Hill game will center their enemy designs around the traits of the main character, who is a teenage girl transitioning into adulthood, and the writers at this studio don't understand the connection. Are the Konami developers using red flowers just because she's a girl? Girls like flowers, Konami. Get with the times. Girls like C# now. The fog monster is unoriginal, lazy, and sexist. After some more running, Hinako is backed into a corner. Suddenly, help arrives, and Hinako, despite Junko, Hinako's older sister, being transformed into a ladder, is still able to recognize her. Junko is killed, and Hinako barely escapes with her life. From this point forward, Hinako traverses narrow alleyways, rooftops, and interiors. It's all quite claustrophobic, and considering the previous chase sequence, I can't help but think about a little film called The Cat Returns by Studio Ghibli. The Cat Returns is a classic Alice in Wonderland or The Wizard of Oz-esque story. Our main character dreams of a different life, and a series of events lead her into a magical otherworld. It's even implied she has brain damage.
So much for your stick, but at least you rescued that stupid cat.
It talked.
What?
That cat spoke to me.
Hey, did you hit your head?
She saves a cat that turns out to be a prince, to which the king of the mystical land of Cat decided to reward her with a forced marriage. She's then reassured that all she needs to do to cancel this arrangement is go to the cat bureau after finding a big white cat in town. In this case, the big white cat is the rabbit, and he leads our Alice down this film's version of the rabbit hole. But of course, cats don't live in holes. They live on the battlefield. The cat leads her through a series of alleyways, on top of roofs, and along walls and fences. She makes her way through the hidden fringes of the town, only accessible by cats, squeezing her way through tight spaces, climbing up and descending areas people weren't supposed to traverse, all the way until she makes it to this villa. The music and ambience is gone. The silence is suffocating. A place between places. The land of Cat exists in between the subliminal threads of reality, and the way this film depicts her arrival was incredibly effective. I'm reminded of the Rabbithole Moment in this film, because in Silent Hill F, Hinako is wearing rabbit ears. Anyway, Hinako makes her way through a multitude of paths and alleys until we encounter our first enemy, who has a vendetta against the ground. Unarmed, you are forced to smash Bro's wave dash in defense. After investigating the house, you learn these mannequins can descend from unimaginable heights, unless Junko is in their way. We never got to see your face, but you are so useful as a ladder. I'm glad I have you as a sister. You make your way further down the village, encountering yet another mannequin, but this time Hinako finds the resolve to fight back. Here's where we're introduced to the combat. Silent Hill F is like a British school. You'd walk in, culture shocked, and ask, why is everyone in uniform?
And where the hell are all them guns?
Here, murder is melee focused. You can lock on, parry, dodge, do light and heavy attacks. You've got a visible health bar this time. Silent Hill didn't have these in the past because HUD designers weren't invented yet. And a stamina bar. I'm disheartened that Silent Hill has stooped stooped so low as to chase trends. It's yet another combat system, just like Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, minus the stamina bar of course. That was clearly stolen from Tokyo Jungle. I'd like to go into depth with the parrying. It is one of the more interesting parts about the combat, but before that, buckle in. We're about to go through a lot of story beats, and we won't reach the part about parrying until we talk about consumables. Hinako works her way back to where Acne killed someone. She ironically commands the corpse to stop, takes it out on some mannequins for some reason. The flowers were right there. The world becomes different world. You solve an incredibly easy puzzle that took only 30 seconds for me to figure out. The footage is not sped up, I was just playing the game that quickly. Some fog attacks your sanity points directly, and you're forced to chug white monster energies. About consumables. In the midst of battle, you'll need to replenish your resources. Health is the easy one, scoff some painkillers, but then things get interesting with the Sanity Bar. You spend sanity to activate focus mode. In focus mode, your field of view is slightly changed. Hinako tightens her grip, and you do 0.01% more damage if you let the circle fill up in the time it takes the NHS to do literally anything. It's imperative to use focus when parrying. You just have to wait for the enemy to momentarily become a Christmas tree before you press the buttons. If you're hit while in focus mode, your sanity bar's cap is decreased. You can interpret this as the very same experience the average Gen Alpha has the moment they leave the womb.
No! That's not what I pressed. I might just die to you just because. Are you okay?
Did you hit your head?
We've experienced the trials and tribulations of growing up, lazy development, bloody birds, sexism, an unoriginal combat system, and the effects of white monster energy. And I can't help but ask the question, why do certain Silent Hill fans hate this game? Because Silent Hill F is making fun of them. The horrors Hinako faces are a representation of neat culture and Gen Z nostalgia hell. If you're one of these people, please don't be offended. My previous review was of a game from 2009. It's the 4th video I've made on the damn thing, and my 9 to 5 has genuinely crushed my ability to enjoy any aspect of life. I cannot escape. I am obsessed, and despite how little joy I feel, I can't stop playing with my Silent Hill toys. I think we've just made an incredible breakthrough. The F in Silent Hill F stands for fans. These characters are us. This game is not real. It's a joke. And we are the punchline. But what do I know? I'm only in the first opening hours of the game. Silent Hill F did such a good job at showing us what it's all about that, like any good reviewer, I don't feel the need to finish it. Please let me know if you were entertained. I am a slave to success, and I have no autonomy. Art is in a never-ending state of decay. Social media is the equivalent of a passionate tatame serving caviar-top scallop nigiri covered in ketchup. True creativity only exists in the abstract. The only elements with an actual soul exist entirely in the loose concepts floating around in the mind of the creator, and audiences can only get but a glimpse, like the lingering life behind the eyes of a taxidermied rodent. Corpses polished and preserved in an insulting vessel, merely imitating its prior consciousness. The rest of what we consume is galvanized mechanical necessity, designed to make art tolerable. Machines learned to create art like humans because for centuries humans created art like machines. Until next time, and remember, you're all fucking brilliant actually.